Morning, Tucci. I hope you had a nice weekend. Happy Monday. Let's go ahead and get started. Continuing with Goonie Bird Green. Friendly reminder, we are a little into chapter 4. It's a long chapter, so we'll just continue to read a few more pages today and we'll tackle it the rest of the week. All right. So last time I read to you on Friday, we found out that Napoleon was not the Emperor of France. Instead, in Goonie Bird Green's story, Napoleon is actually a large black poodle. Here we go. Every hand in the second grade classroom shot up, even Felicia Ann's. I knew this would happen, Goonie Bird said. I just knew it. Time for an intermission. Mrs. Pigeon, do you want to deal with this? Mrs. Pigeon nodded. She thought for a moment. Then she announced, every child who has a poodle, put your hand down. 4 hands went down. Now, Mrs. Pigeon said, every child whose grandmother has a poodle, hands down. 7 more hands were lowered. Every child who knows a poodle who does interesting tricks or who gets into trouble or who ran away once, hands down. Other hands went down, and now there were just 3 hands still in the air. Beanie, what kind of dog do you have? Mrs. Pigeon asked. Golden Retriever. That's lovely. Ben. Corgi. Good. And finally, Trisha. I don't have a dog, Trisha said sadly. I'm allergic to dogs, and my mother said I can never ever have one, or even a cat, not ever, because I might have a terrible asthma attack, and then I would have to go to the hospital, maybe in an ambulance, and we understand, Trisha. And now let's go back to the story, because we still don't know what happened to Napoleon, or about the palace, said Kiko, and the earrings. Goonie Bird shook her head a little so that the earrings moved and sparkled in a glamorous way. Listen for the word suddenly, Goonie Bird advised. I put one in the story already, but I like to sprinkle in several. Some other suddenlies will be coming soon. Goonie Bird examined the prince's backyard. She saw a place where the ground was disturbed by the corner of the fence. Look, she said, see this bit of dog hair caught in the fence? That looks like Napoleon's. See, she said next, pointing to some newly dug earth. Here is where Napoleon wiggled under the fence. What a good detective you are, the prince said to Goonie Bird. Goonie Bird let herself out of the yard and through the gate. She sniffed. She listened. Suddenly, there's a suddenly, called Malcolm. Good listening, Goonie Bird said. Then she continued. Suddenly, because of the clues that she smelled and heard, Goonie Bird moved forward. There, at the end of the alley, was an overturned garbage can, and there, with his head inside the can, was Napoleon eating garbage. He had coffee grounds all over his face, and an orange peel was stuck on one of his ears. You naughty thing, Napoleon, Goonie Bird said, and she took hold of his collar. Napoleon burped. Oh, no, Kiko cried. Not garbage, not burping. Shh, the other children said. Many hands were waving in the air. Mrs. Pigeon stood up. No stories about dogs eating garbage, she said firmly. Not a single one. All of the hands went down. Please, please, please tell us about the palace and the prince and the earrings, Chelsea begged. I'm about to, Goonie Bird said. Goonie Bird took Napoleon back to his house. The prince asked Goonie Bird to go to the palace for a reward. Did you get all dressed up in a ball gown? Beanie asked. Maybe a tiara? Asked Trisha. I hadn't planned to describe clothes, Goonie Bird said, but since you asked, I'll insert a little descriptive passage here. When she went to the palace, Goonie Bird was wearing clothes from the L.L. Bean catalog. She wore island hopper shorts with front flat pockets and a knit tank top in sun yellow. The prince had on rugged canvas shorts and polyester and nylon pale khaki plaid short sleeved. Malcolm disappeared under his desk. Ben picked up his arithmetic book and began to do some problems. Nicholas put his head down on his arm and closed his eyes. Goonie Bird stared at them. "Am I boring you?" she asked. "Yes," the class said, all but Felicia Ann, who was silent, and Kiko, who was not bored at all. "What color were the island hopper shorts?" Kiko asked. "I hope blue." As a matter of fact, they were deep sea green and true blue stripes down the sides. I might wear them to school on Wednesday. "Oh, good," Kiko said. "I'll continue now," Goonie Bird said. It doesn't matter what clothes the prince had. The main character in this story is Goonie Bird. And it is important to tell a lot about the main character because the main character is right smack in the middle of everything. All the others are just minor characters, and it is boring to tell about their clothes. Okay, 2G, I'm going to stop there for today. We'll pick up tomorrow. Enjoy your Monday. I hope whatever you do, I hope it's something fun and puts a smile on your face. Please know how much I miss you and I'm thinking about you, and have a very happy Monday. See you tomorrow.